Can the average person, let's say me, I want to buy a UHF radio, do we need to have a license to use certain types of equipment?
Yes, parang pagda-drive lang din yan eh. If you're going to drive sa national road natin, kailangan mo ng license. My name is Maclain de Guzman. I am a licensed radio enthusiast. I'm holding a Class D license.
This type of communication is old school compared to what we have right now with our phones, the iPhones, Androids. I mean, what is the difference between having this and that?
If there's an earthquake or emergency, especially if the telecommunication or the communications down.
Is it considered illegal kung halimbawa bumili tayo ngayon, ginamit natin within this vicinity? Is that considered illegal?
Technically,
The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are those of the host and guests and do not necessarily reflect those of the producers, network, or sponsors. Listener discretion is advised.
So we know these days that communications is a vital part of our lives these days, especially at times where there is a lot of scandals going on in our government. And as today's recording of our podcast, I invited someone who specializes in a certain type of communications. This is more of a last resort or backup. But then again, we'd like to welcome our guest. Please tell me who you are, what you do, and what would you like to share?
my name is Maclain de Guzman. I am a licensed radio enthusiast. I'm holding a Class D license. So there is a classification regarding sa license, parang driver's license din, no? So meron professional, there is non-professional, and there's student. Yung Class D is pinaka-standard or yung basic. Yun ang pinaka-startup if you're going to be if you're going into the license world pagdating sa pagraradyo. So nowadays nagiging ano na siya, matunog na rin yung communications, even though that this has been used way back in the 80s, 90s. Pero dahil sa mga nangyayari sa paligid natin ngayon, if the big one come, or if there's an earthquake or emergency, especially if the telecommunication or the communications as pag nag-down, marami ang maapektuhan sa atin in terms of, lalo na yung mga very dependent sa cellphone. So communication, dito pumapasok siya. In times of emergencies, even our national government, nagre-rely sila sa two-way radio. Itong mga typhoon, bumabalik sila doon sa old era ng CB radio or HF radio, which is malalaking radio equipment siya. Pero since ngayon, palit na ng palit yung yung technology, nagiging high-tech. So pumapasok na dyan yung mga POC radio, which is, this actually is SIM-based. So network dependent siya. So affected din siya pag nag-down yung communication natin.
Can we rewind back to that form of license? Do we need to have a license to use certain types of equipment?
Yes, parang pagda-drive lang din yan eh. If you're going to drive sa national road natin, kailangan mo ng license. Start ka ng student license. This one, yun nga, nabanggit ko kanina, Class D yung pinaka-standard niya or startup. Aside dun sa pagkuha mo ng license, you need also to register your radio equipment.
I see. Okay.
So parang hindi ka naman po pwedeng driver's license lang ang dala mo. Kasi you need to register din yung equipment or yung vehicle na gagamitin mo.
Just like a car.
Just like a car. Eto, i-register mo rin siya. I think for portable radios is ranging from 500 na minimum. And then the base radio is 1,500. Base radio is yung parang mukhang cassette cassette.
When you say 500, 1,000, what is it? The cost or?
Yes, the cost for para maipalicense.
I see.
Mapalisensyahan mo siya.
I see.
And then sa license naman, you need to take up kailangan mo na mag-seminar before you take an exam. So meron silang mga online seminar via Facebook or Zoom. This is happening all over the Philippines. So by region, and then the NTCs naglalabas sila na listahan ng scheduling kung kailan. Hindi siya ganun kadalas, kaya yung ibang radio enthusiasts, inaabangan nila to. Kasi hindi ka parang hindi siya basta pupunta ka doon sa katulad ng sa LTO na pagpunta mo doon, pwede ka na kumuha. But dito naman din meron, you go to NTC main, pero hindi siya ganun ka, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong doon sa mga talagang biyasa. Pag nagpunta ka doon, hindi naman siya agad-agad ipaprocess ka kagad eh. Kasi yun nga, the first step is you need to take a seminar first before ka take ng exam. So, yung seminar mo, they're going to issue a certificate. Pag wala kang certificate, kahit magpunta ka ng NTC, mag-a-apply po ako ng license. Ay, meron ka bang seminar certificate?
So they won't entertain you.
Yes.
So let's rewind back. So the stigma kasi is a lot of people that uses radio communications is usually used by security agencies, the army, our police force, and certain government types of security like PSG and all that. So sa mga, for example, mga Gen Zs, they've never seen that. They've only seen that as like somewhat security guards, yung gamit. And of course, would we say that this type of communication is old school compared to what we have right now with our phones, the iPhones, Androids? I mean, what is the difference between having this and that?
Yes, very old school to, no? Kasi this has been ginagamit na nila to ever since. Pero the type was sobrang lalaki pa. So, sobrang bibigat. And nga, dahil nga ngayon is medyo high-tech na, so they try to
Paliit ng paliit.
Paliit na ng paliit.
Okay.
Paliit ng paliit, parami ang features.
Okay.
So there are certain type na stick to this band only. Sa amateur kasi, meron siyang band allocation. It's 144 megahertz up to 146.
So is that certain frequency where they can operate? Do we have to register a certain frequency, just like TV channel?
Yeah. For amateur, yun nga, nabanggit ko, no? 144 megahertz up to 146. That is for the amateur band. 146 and above, up to 174 megahertz or even higher. Doon na siya papasok sa commercial. So merong type ng may amateur and then merong commercial type. So commercial type is mostly yung mga civic na yan. Diyan na pumapasok yung doon naka-allocate yun sa kanila. Pero sa amateur, ang daming kasi nagrereklamo amateur eh. Kasi nga sa dami-dami nila, ang liit lang nung band allocation 144, 146. So iba sa dami na nagtatayo din ng mga amateur club. So yung pag-allocate, siyempre hindi naman po pwedeng gamitin mo yung frequency dito, frequency lang sa kabilang region. Minsan since nagse-set up sila ng mga antena nila, so lumalakas, nasasagap nila yung
Ibang communications.
Ibang area. So nangyayari, nagkakaroon ng interference, nag-overlap.
Okay.
Sa lakas ng radyo nila, meron din kasing strict policy si NTC na ito lang yung dapat yung power output ng radyo mo. Pero since hindi naman ganun ka-strict din yung ating government, sa NTC especially, sa pag-control and pag-monitor. Kaya yung iba, yun nga, nagkakaroon na ng overlapping, nagkakaroon ng interference, lalo na yung mga naka-portable radio lang ang gamit nila. So, natatapakan sila ng mga malalakas. So, ngayon, nagreklamo sila sa NTC. Si NTC ngayon, gagawa nila ng action para magkaroon ng resolution kung paano parehong makakagamit sila.
Right now, in because you did mention that you should have a license, and there's a certain bandwidth or frequency that you have to tune in just to be able to use this communications device. Ano ba yung nakikita natin sa Lazada, Shopee, TikTok, and other shops na meron sila nagbebenta ng mga mumurahin lang, short range, and what is the difference between that and what you have right now? And why is the short range radio communications cheaper than what you have here?
Yung mga cheaper, no, mga nakikita mo sa Lazada, like the WLN, KC51, yung mga less than 1,000. Minsan may mga package pa na 3 for 1,000, 4 for 1,000, 4 unit na siya. So, buy one, take one. So, ganun na siya kamura. Pero, maliit lang kasi siya. At tapos, yun nga, tama kasi sinabi mo, no? Short range lang siya. So, mostly, UHF siya. So, for commercial use. Yun yung mga good gamitin dito sa metro, lalo yung may mga building. Kaya yung makikita mo sa mga security guard, usually gamit nila yung mga UHF radio kasi nga UHF nagpe-penetrate siya sa mga buildings. So pagdating sa ganito sa metro, mas advisable gamitin yung UHF, lalo yung mga nagpunta ng basement, tapos
Does it require na may license to operate a UHF radio?
Yung sa UHF din, meron din siyang band allocation sa amateur.
Okay.
And then commercial. 430 to 440, yun, mas maliit yung band. Pero since madalang ang gumagamit ng UHF, I'm not really sure, no? Hindi ko naman monitor lahat, no, sa commercial. Pero as per the NTC guidelines, 430 MHz to 440, yun yung naka-allocate sa amateur. And then the rest, 430 pababa and then 440 pataas, those are intended for commercial use. So, regarding sa question mo, kung required ba? Yes, required pa rin. Kahit nasa UHF ka na, kung amateur ka, ayun, ang paggamit pala ng UHF, hindi na siya sakop sa Class D license.
Okay.
So, ngayon, kailangan mong mag-upgrade. So, itataas mo yung level ng parang sa driver's license. If you want to drive big mga 10-wheeler truck, so kailangan mo mag-professional na. So same din sa amateur club. So kailangan mo at least Class C to operate on the UHF band.
So because it's getting a bit technical. So how is it hindi monitor na government yung mga sales online sa online stores just like Lazada and Shopee? I mean, hindi nila monitor yung sales of these types of, and there's a lot of sellers because anyone can buy it. Sabi mo nga, may 4 for 1,000. So, is it considered illegal kung halimbawa bumili tayo ngayon, ginamit natin within this vicinity? Is that considered illegal?
Technically illegal siya if you don't have license.
Okay.
If you're going to follow the rules are rules. No one is
Okay.
above the rules or no one is above the law. Kung ito ang batas, pero yun nga ang question, no, walang masyadong manpower sa NTC to monitor yung mga gumagamit ng two-way radio. It's the same thing din sa pagdadrive ng sasakyan, no? Wala, even the LTO cannot, meron ka bang license? O ano license mo? Hindi mo naman kayang i-monitor unless magkakaroon ng violation. Kunwari sa sasakyan. Pag nagkaroon ng accident, doon lang mo monitor na doon check kung may license ka ba, ano ba ang license mo, akma ba yung license mo sa dinadrive mo. Same with sa radio. Regarding naman sa mga sales, no? Kasi may mga binabayaran silang mga kosto. Sa custom, tax, tapos yung pag NTC type approved, yung pa isa, no? Sa pagre-register ng radio, two-way radio, kailangan NTC type approved. Hindi porket bumili ka na ng radyo, pwede mo nang ipa-license. Hindi lahat. Please correct me kung mali ako sa mga nasasabi ko. I mean, I'm not really an expert on this, but these are just my observation and based on my own understanding. There are certain nagkakaroon sila ng resolution or what do you call that? Yung batas, inaamyendahan nila para maging applicable sa existing na current situation. Kasi since ngayon, ang daming mga two-way radio na lumalabas. So ngayon, inaalaw nila sa amateur, as long as yung portable radio, mapa anong brand dyan, basta't meron siyang 144 to 146 megahertz na frequency, pwede siyang i-register sa NTC. Pero, again, dadaan ka sa process. So, hindi din lahat tinatanggap. And depende pa siya sa mga NTC region. Dito sa NTC sa main, sa Metro Manila or sa QC, strict. Pero sa ibang district, hindi sila strict. Kaya doon sila nagkakaroon ng question. Bakit doon sa ibang lugar, nare-register to? Pero pag dinala mo sa main, which is dito sa QC, ayaw tanggapin. So, maraming nagkakaroon ng question about it. So, doon pumapasok yung bakit, doon lumalabas na hindi talaga kayang i-monitor ni NTC. Ang sabi nga nung iba, wala daw kita kasi dito sa ano. Kasi nga, parang pag nahuli ka, ang advice nung iba, no, if maabutan ka na, ma-check ka ng NTC na may dala kang two-way radio, sabi nila, ang sabi, surrender mo. Tanggalin mo yung antena, tanggalin mo yung battery, surrender mo yung unit. Ito, hindi kasama.
Bakit?
I don't know. Technically, dapat
Kasama lahat?
kasama lahat.
Parang
kasi,
kotse lang.
Oo, parang kotse. Di ba? Hindi mo pwedeng, ay, sir, tanggalin ko yung gulong, tanggalin. Pero as per advice ng mga ibang license na ano, yun ang sinasabi nila. Pag ito lang surrender mo. Surrender mo yan. Meron namang iba, nako-question. No, tanggalin mo. Kasama lahat yan. Pero yung ibang mga, as in mga class A, meron talagang pinag-aralan nila yung ano. Yun ina-advise nila pag nahulihan ka ng...
So, ano yung penalties? For example, nahuli ka na may two-way radio ka, nahuli ka na NTC. Is there imprisonment? Is there... What's the penalty?
Wala. Mostly confiscation na. Unless nagkaroon ka ng yung ginajam yung frequency. Kasi before, back to the 90s, uso yan eh. Ito yung frequency mo. Jajamin ka namin. Ang gagawin nila, mag-set up sila ng radyo, isa-set nila doon sa frequency, tatalian nila or...
So, iba pa ang jammer. What does a jammer look like? Is it like this? Does it look something like this?
Yung jammer is, kunwari, is a person who operates the two-way radio. Meaning to say, nanggugulo, parang iskandaloso. Ako yung iskandaloso, guguluhin ko yung frequency nyo. The way I do it, is magde-dedicate sila ng isang radio na naka-transmit. Yun, naka-transmit
So,
sa frequency.
it's a radio also?
Yes.
Hindi siya ibang device? Hindi siya...
No, it's a radio din. Pero malakas na yung power output niya. Base station, minsan naka-booster pa. Tapos setup nila is 100 feet. Kahit naman hindi 100 feet, kung alam mo ayan lang yung jajamin mo, maglagay ka lang ng isang portable na naka-press lang siya, naka-transmit lang siya. So, walang marireceive yung yung station, no? Wala siyang marireceive kasi nga, nasa tabi lang niya yung nagja-jam.
Or static?
Oo, parang static.
So usually ang mga nagja-jam, for example, if they want to cut communications in a certain area, kung may military, let's say, action within that area, di ba, gina-jam nila sa mga...
Yes.
Is that how we see it in the movies?
Yes, oo. Nagtatanim sila ng jamming device para ma-interrupt yung communication nila.
So right now, it's because we see a lot of products sa Lazada and Shopee and also TikTok na ang daming nagbebenta. So it seems they're not putting an importance na dapat may license in terms of having a UHF radio for even if it's amateur or professional. Why can't, since hindi nila ma-monitor yung mga gumagamit, I mean, I think it's easier to monitor the point of sale of these equipment. Pero, because you have a bunch of equipments, right? So, I also have a bunch of various, but they're only UHF, yung mga nabibili sa Lazada and Shopee. So, technically, if these are not registered, then we're doing something illegal, right? But apparently, confiscation lang, and only if you were caught in the act.
Using.
yeah, using it in the app. Pero right now, if it's just for a collector's item, if that's your purpose, edi I don't think you're breaking the law. You're just meron ka lang.
Just like
right?
collecting cars, di ba?
Exactly.
Kahit gaano karami sa sasakyan mo, nandun lang, nakapark lang,
Oo.
you're not violating anything.
And even if it's not registered, as long as you don't use it, right?
Yes.
So, because these days, di ba, everyone's used on sanay sila sa cellphone, sanay sila sa Android phones and iPhones and all, any types of forms of communications kasi internet-based siya. Can you tell me since sanay yung mga tao dyan, what is the advantage of having even the basic UHF radio? Do we need it in our daily lives or do we need this just for in case of emergencies?
Sa akin, as a radio enthusiast, pero I don't speak in general sa lahat, no. I speak for myself only. Sa akin, I see this very useful, even on a daily basis. Kasi instead of your children having cellphone, na masyado na sila nakatutok sa cellphone, way of communication, pwede kong gamitin to. Kung doon lang naman, o kunwari within the vicinity, to monitor kung nasaan siya, for as long as cover siya within the area. And especially yun nga, in case of emergencies, yung disaster, hindi kasi natin alam kung kailan darating eh. So, aantayin pa ba natin yung disaster tsaka kabibili? Oh, nag-down na yung system. Pabili po. Paano ka bibili? Down na yung communication. Wala nang internet. Paano ka bibili ngayon? Eh, hindi naman to yung typical na nasa sari-sari store. Unless you know people, a person, or shop na meron talagang on hand. Pero kadalasan yung iba, hindi eh. Made to order o parang Shopee. If you buy today, hindi mo naman makukuha today eh. Either tomorrow or the next day or depende kung saan na purchase if it's outside the country. So ito talagang for me, I've been collecting, no. Although nagba-buy and sell din ako. Pero yung dala ko ngayon, these are my personal collection and these are my personal belonging intended for personal use and in case of emergencies.
Can you list down the types of emergencies where we can use this?
Okay. Type of emergencies, typhoon. Since I'm in a civic group, ang motto ng group namin is serving the nation through communication. So, we are focusing on helping not just, siyempre, masyadong wide pag you're talking about the country, no? Doon na lang sa AOR. Kung saan yung nasasakupan mo. Pagbaha, inabutan ka na ng baha, hindi ka na makakaresponde eh. So, first things first is kailangan ng communication mo sa loved one, sa family mo. So, how would you do that? Kung magkaroon ng interruption ang cell site, this would come handy.
Which most of the time, laging may interruption ng internet and cell site.
Either interruption or congested. Kasi kung, let's say, mag-down dun sa isang area, no? So, alam naman natin na pag nag-down na isang cell site, all users is being redirected to other
Cell site.
So, yun yung nagkakaroon ng congestion. Yung iba, kahit text lang, ang bagal eh, ang tagal eh. So, this would come handy. Lalo na kung andyan lang naman o within the area, mag-chat ka ba o mag-video call ka pa kung hindi naman magko-connect at especially yun pa, mawalan ka ng load. Wala ka ng load, wala ka ng internet, wala ka pang regular load. So, hindi rin magagamit yung cellphone. So, dito papasok. Yung iba hindi nila nakikita na handy.
Yeah.
Kasi nga, hindi pa nila na-experience.
Tsaka bulky daw.
Oo, bulky.
Wala namang ibang
Pero
features.
nowadays, kita kung gano'ng kaliit to, cellphone.
Yeah.
So, ito talaga, pag tinanggal mo pa to, liliit pa ulit. Sobrang liit lang oh. At sobrang gaang lang nito. Unlike, bigat pa nga yung cellphone ko. So, meron pang mga mas maliliit dito, as in, half the size, na two-way radio.
Pero ano yun? What is the short, for example, yung mga maliliit na banggit mo, what's the range?
Ang power output niya is 2 watts lang.
Okay.
So, given na nandito ka sa city, maraming building, swerte mo na yung 1 kilometer.
That's big.
But depende pa siya sa area mo.
Sa
no?
area,
Kung
okay.
masyado na talagang ma-building. Tapos, yung talagang sobrang liit na, ito medyo reliable pa yung mga ganito or the sa Baopeng UV5.
For example, yung mga nabibili UHF from Lazada, Shopee, yung
Yes.
4 for 1,000.
Ayan.
Ano yung range yan? Half a kilometer? 1 kilometer?
Half a kilometer, good na yan. Clear na
Clear
yung
na yun.
conversation mo.
Anything after that?
Line of sight na siguro.
I see.
So, pero pag may building na, expect mo na yung magkakaroon na ng obstruction.
Okay, so medyo choppy na yung
Yes, medyo
static
choppy na.
and all.
Pero syempre, pag naman within the community naman, siguro naman, hindi naman 1 kilometer yung imo-monitor mo. Unless talagang magkabilang barangay or kabilang municipality. Doon naman papasok yung kung meron kang aerial or external antenna sa bahay. Which is, yung mga ganito, nakakabitan siya. Hindi mo kailangan ng malalaking base radio. Ito, pwede mo na siyang kabitan. There are special connectors that you can buy na pwede mo siya ikabit para At using this alone, line of sight, this is a dual band VHF, UHF. Line of sight, kaya niya at least 5 kilometers. 3 to 5 kilometers.
Wow.
I mean, line of sight.
Kung may obstruction,
Pag may obstruction, 1 to 2 kilometers.
na malinaw.
Malinaw.
Which is how- Can before you jump into that, can you list down or expound further the stuff that we buy from Lazada up to the professional ones? Can you list down each type of product?
Okay.
So let's start with the ones that we see in Lazada.
Okay.
Yung mga maliliit, yung mga colorful. Yeah.
Hindi ako, again, hindi ako professional, hindi ako these are just my own understanding how this works, kung ano lang yung nakikita ko.
That's
So,
okay because we need to know for the average person na wala pang alam, at least you're giving up the basic knowledge. So let's start with what do we find on Lazada right now?
Okay, yung mga nabibili sa Lazada na buy one, take one, or at least pinaka-cheapest is 300 pesos. Yun yung mga nakikita mo sa mga security guard. That is Baofeng BF888S. Yun yung mga 2 watts lang yun. Yun yung mga kadalasan makikita mo sa mga security guard. Pero depende, no? May mga security guard kasi na talagang high-end. Like sa mall,
Yeah.
they're using high-end two-way radios. Those are Hytera, I think, 20 to 30,000 each, brand new.
Each brand. So let's start with the cheapest
Ayun,
and then
the
let's go to
cheapest.
the most expensive. Pero give us also example. So let's start with the cheapest yung sinasabi mo. Let's restart that.
Okay.
Start from the ones that we find in Shopee Lazada.
Shopee, Lazada, there are multiple, kasi ang daming brands sa China na yung same quality, same power output, different design and models lang. So yun yung mga price ranging from 300 to 500.
Okay.
Tapos yun yung mga 2 watts like WLN, meron mga nire-rebrand nila, Motorola, meron makikita ka na nakalagay, ICOM. So, these are just rebranding, no? Pero kung makikita mo doon sa Shopee, Lazada, teka, isa lang naman design, ba't iba-ibang pangalan?
Okay.
Kasi nga, it's because of rebranding lang.
And what's the range for these?
Yung range ng any two-way radio na 2 watts of power, yun mga range from 500 to 1 kilometer. Clear na yon.
Clear line of sight.
Pero pag line of sight, nagdidepende talaga siya, no? Pag line of sight, kasi nga, since walang obstruction, doon nagkakaroon ng humahaba yung range niya. Pero, if there is line of sight, kunwari, village, so bahay-bahay yan. So, in a village, yung mga 2 watts na yun, kaya na niya i-cover. Pero wag naman yung sobrang mega village. Yung mga ordinary village lang na nakikita mo, like Camellia, yung mga Camellia, or mga small villages sa mga provinces. Yan. Yung mga 2 watts radio, kaya na. Kasi mostly, yun yung mga, even the barangay, yun, kahapon lang nasa isang barangay ako sa Bulacan. Tinanong ko sila, sir, meron po kayong radio dito or setup? Wala. Ang gamit lang namin yung mga nasa Shopee. Which is,
And it works
kasi ginagamit lang nila for traffic assistance, sa mga sa patay, road assistance lang. Hindi mo naman kasi kailangan ng malayo kasi nga road assistance lang eh.
Yes.
So these are just from meters to 1 kilometer. So malayo na nga yung 1 kilometer kasi if you're doing traffic assistance, hindi ka naman siguro mag-aabot ng 1 kilometer
Yes,
traffic sa isang
yes.
barangay. So these are very useful sa mga barangay, no? Ito yung mga ginagamit nila. So from 2 watts, tatalo na siya sa 5 watts. 5 watts, ito na yung mga 5 watts radio.
Okay. So what
So-
are these? What's the difference in terms of 2 watts to what? Is it just power output? And what's the range?
Yes, this is not just about power output, no. These are dual band radios.
What does dual band radios mean?
VHF and UHF. It
So
can
what is UHF and what is VHF?
Sa VHF, it can operate from 136 megahertz up to 174. So, kaya niyang i-cover niya ang amateur and then commercial.
I see.
So,
Okay.
Pero, not everyone can use this.
Why?
Katulad ng nabanggit ko kanina, if you're using a dual band radio, kailangan classic ka. Kasi nga, meron siyang UHF.
I
Oo,
see.
so baka maguluhan yung iba. Ba't ganun? If you're going to stick on the rules,
Okay.
yun ang nakalagay sa rules eh. You cannot operate. I guess you can own one, pero don't use. Ang ina-advise sa amin, or ina-advise ng mga amateur enthusiast na mga professional or mga class A, if you're going to buy, you can monitor. Pwede tayong everyone pwede po tayong mag-monitor. Pero do not transmit. Pag nag-transmit ka, doon ka na nagva-violate.
I see.
Yun yung paliwanag nila, and this is also my understanding. Parang sa sasakyan, pinaandar mo yung sasakyan, pinainit mo lang.
Pero hindi mo pinaandar.
Oo, hindi ka naman lumabas ng village, hindi ka naman I'm not sure kung pag kunwari, malaki yung compound mo. Pag ba nag-operate ka within I think nagva-violate kasi inoperate mo na. di ba?
Yes,
Oo.
yes. Pag umandar na. So, what is the price range of...
Yes. Okay. Price range, this UV5R for the cheapest from 500 to 1,500. Depende. This brand alone or this model alone, may iba-iba. May Cygnus, may Baofeng, mayroong Platinum. Nire-rebrand lang nila. Tapos, actually, pinakamahal na ganitong model, yung Platinum, nasa 2,500. Samantalang, same lang naman same ng operation, same ng features, same ng ano.
Pero still affordable for the
Yes.
average person who wants to get into this. So, this is the next... So, yung kanina, entry-level UHF, and then this one...
Actually, ito entry level pa rin to.
oh, pero that looks more ano pa.
Kaya lang siya malaki kasi I bought yung extended battery.
I
Pero usually ganito lang siya.
Ganyan lang siya.
Oo, ganun lang
Okay,
siya.
okay.
Ito, extended battery, longer, tapos instead of cradle, meron na siyang USB different ports nga lang.
Ano yung ano? So, who uses this? Kung kanina, they use like sa barangay, who uses this?
Ito rin, mostly barangay din. Before nauso yung mga cheapest na ganun, ito yung pinaka top of the line sa barangay. Mostly makikita mo sa province, ito ang mga gamit nila, UV5R. Parang sinasabi nga nila, pambansang radyo ng mga tanod.
Wow, okay.
Oo, dito nagsimula lahat. I'm not sure, pero makikita mo lang kahit saang barangay ka magpunta. Pero nung lumabas ito,
So, what's this?
this is the same thing, dual band,
Okay.
pero more features.
So, what's the difference between
More band
them?
coverage.
For commercial, more band coverage for commercial.
Sa mga beginner, medyo parang malulula ka pag sinabi ko sa iyo na siguro kahit ikaw sabihin ko, this can operate from 20 megahertz up to 1,300 or 1,300 megahertz. You can listen to trunk, yung mga ginagamit ng mga sa police.
Really?
Frequency.
Okay.
Tapos, meron siyang frequency copy.
Okay.
Pero that is for VHF and UHF. Frequency copy means, pag sinet mo to sa frequency copy, once may nag-transmit within the range, makukuha mo yung frequency na ginagamit nila. So,
I see.
if
So,
you want,
it's good for monitoring.
Good for good purpose use lang, o pwede mo ipang monitor, no? Pero if you're going to use it for in a bad way, wag naman sana.
So, this is what we see in the movies, yung nagmo-monitor sila ng
Yes,
police frequency. But, is that illegal to monitor?
To monitor, hindi.
Really?
Oo. Kasi makakabili ka ng mga scanning device eh.
So wala tayong batas na, for example, let's say MMDA or police gumagamit, hindi bawal mag-monitor ng frequency nila? Wala ba tayong batas niyan?
Hindi ako sure kung bawal, pero sa akin pero kasi parang na rin itong parang eavesdropping ng ang dating niyan eh. Or ano ba tawag doon? Parang wiretapping na ba? Pwede mo i-consider kasi nagli-listen ka sa isang frequency, so isang station na hindi ka naman dapat nandun.
Tsaka ang frequencies, it's open, right?
Yes.
Basta you tune into it.
Yeah.
Open siya, hindi para siyang radio frequency.
I guess kung radio station, open talaga siya for listening, no? Pero dun sa mga government agencies,
Okay.
I'm not really sure kung meron talagang batas na bawal kang makinig sa frequency na. Kasi if there is a scanning device or if this has a listening capability, I guess as long as hindi ka nag-interrupt o nagdi-disrupt ng you're not violating anything. Again, hindi ako sure, no. Hindi ako familiar sa batas kung meron talagang batas na gano'n. Or even I guess even in the USA, kasi sa USA nga, yung mga street racer, yung mga hypercars, bumibili talaga sila ng radio scanner, police scanner.
Police scanner.
Oh, tapos pag nakikita yung mga police scanner, hindi naman din sila...
Tsaka legal kasi binibenta sa mga gas stations.
Oo, meron talaga.
But that's in the US. Ang tanong, kung hindi nga stricto sa US, hindi rin strict dito.
Definitely, siguro. Baka,
Pero for example, may operations, right? And criminals could be listening in. Diba? They
for
could be
sure. For
monitoring.
sure, oo.
So dapat, although hanapin nila yung frequency, di ba?
Kailangan nilang mag-scan. Yun, kaya merong frequency scanner eh. Merong mga portable radio na walang transmit capability. It's just for scanning.
Okay.
So talagang scan lang
Scan
talaga.
lang.
Oo, scan lang. So ito yung mga ito na yung isa sa cheapest na napakadaming feature. This actually sells from 800 to 2,000. And again, this sa mga beginners, no, sa mga hindi familiar, this can listen from 20 megahertz up to 1,300 megahertz. So, yung mga cover na nito yung mula radio station, so pwede ka na mag-listen for a radio station up to yung mga ginagamit ng mga kapulisan, sa mga security agencies.
Saan nabibili ito?
It is meron sa Shopee and Lazada online.
Yun din, meron
Yes.
din.
So basically lahat na ata mabibili mo sa Shopee, Lazada eh.
What's the next after this?
After nito, meron mga higher power output. Ito, power output nito is 5 watts sa VHF, sa UHF is 4 watts. Pero meron mga dual band na meron actually itong version na to, in-upgrade na nila ito. Merong 5 watts version, merong 8 watts, merong 10 watts version, merong 12 watts version, at lumabas pa na meron silang nilabas sa 15 to 20 watts. Same unit. Same unit.
Oh.
So,
Siguro different chipset lang yung
for sure, baka ganun lang. So, yun. So, after this, lalabas na yung mga high-end na. High-end na. Like the Motorola, Hytera. Yan na yung talagang very costly.
How much yung nila?
Isang portable ng Motorola actually costs for about 25,000. 25,000. Yung original and then license. Kasi sa Motorola, yun, merong license kasi meron siyang digital and analog. So digital meaning it can actually connect to the internet or via signal ng para siyang may wifi. Ginagamitan siya ng hotspot.
Pero why is it so expensive? What is the factors? Kasi ito 2.5, hanggang 2.5. Eh yung mga 25,000 pataas. What's the difference?
Waterproof. So marami siyang features na talagang it pay, you get what you paid for.
Shockproof din siya pag binato mo?
Yes. Shock.
So pang ano lang talaga
So
to?
makikita mo sa mga pulis sa US, what they're using is Motorola. I think dito ang price range natin dito is 200,000 ang isa
Per unit?
per unit. Unit pa lang siya, wala pa siya yung mga accessory na microphone, wala pa yung extended battery.
So who uses these types of, do we use this in our police force, NBI?
Yes. Sa police, ang mostly gamit nila naka-Hytera. And then, ibang police naman, depende sa level yata eh. Pag medyo ranking na siya, magamit na niya mga APX, yun yung mga costing around 40 at the minimum. Tapos, pataas na siya. And then, yung mga military natin, yun,
Okay.
meron silang Motorola din.
Okay.
Pero depende, no? Merong ibang sundalo na uses Motorola, iba gumagamit ng ibang brand, Harris, yun, mga top of the line na gamit yun.
So yun yung mga 40,000 pataas? Up to 200,000?
Yes, yun na. Yun na yung mga ganong pricing. Kaya, very expensive. I guess dapat naman kasi kailangan nila ng talagang robust na radio equipment, lalo pagdating sa battlefield.
Yes, yeah. So waterproof, shockproof, dustproof, all that.
Yes.
So pag nilubog mo, tapos nilubog mo sa tubig, let's say, or nasa...
Kahit nasa sila, sa ilog sila mag-responde, kahit nakasuksok sa kanya, hindi siya basa-basa masisira. Unlike this.
Nasisira agad. So talagang military grade
Yes.
pagdating.
Pero merong mga ganito, like this one.
Okay.
I do a water test this. Pinaulanan ko to for about 5 minutes.
Pero ulan.
Ulan. So, this is actually IP54.
Okay.
Water resistant, dust resistant, and shock resistant. So, hindi siya ibig sabihin pag water resistant, pwede mo siyang ilubog. Water resistant, IP54. So, ratings, depende yan eh. So, splash, pwede lang yung mga splash.
Yeah.
Pero yung direct na tututukan mo siya ng hose. Iba kasi yung splash, tsaka tututukan mo ng hose.
Yeah,
Tapos, iba yung lumubog.
Yeah.
Kaya, hindi siya ganun ka, yung waterproof level niya, magkakaiba.
What's after the high end? Is that the all three tiers of so meron tayo UHF, tapos dual UHF, VHF, and then yung high end lang. Are they dual also? Yung high end?
No. Okay. Yung Motorola, meron digital and then analog, no? Pero merong dual or multi-band. Yun nga yung gamit ng mga police force, especially sa US,
Okay.
no? UHF 700 MHz, 900 MHz, or 800 MHz. So tri-band na siya.
When it comes to, sabi mo kasi may analog and digital, what's the digital part? Kasi analog, we all know na, what's the digital?
Yun nga, nabanggit ko, no, na it could actually connect through a hotspot. So, meaning, para kang naka-Wi-Fi. So, meron siyang talk group. Familiar with talk groups? Parang,
Yeah.
parang sa chat, parang sa mga chat group, parang may group na rin siya in a digital form.
So ano to? They don't use any bandwidth. They use the internet to
Yes.
communicate. Okay. What do you call those types of radios?
Yun nga, sa Motorola, no? Motorola, Hytera, yan, may mga iba-ibang brand na gumagamit ng digital mode. They call it DMR, Digital Mobile Radio. So, anything that connects to the internet, considered as digital na. Like this one, digital na siya. Yung mga ganito, POC radio. So, ito na nga yung pumapatok ngayon, yung POC, Push to Talk over Cellular. So, pero balikan ko yung yung digital and analog. So, yung mga digital analog na yun, meron din siyang capability like si Motorola, no. Naglabas na rin sila ng mga unit na meron din POC. Pero sarili nilang platform.
So that's another type of POC. What is POC?
Push to Talk over Cellular. It actually use network. O SIM card.
Cellular network.
Cellular network.
So hindi siya frequency.
No, hindi siya. Actually, frequency pa rin siya. Pero, yung bandwidth niya is from 1,300 or 1,300 MHz up to 5 gigahertz. So, magdidepende na lang yan kung anong band yung gumagamit.
Can an analog scan a POC?
No. Yun na hindi na kaya. Kasi
So-
mataas na yung band na.
So in terms of security, which is much safer, yung sa POC?
Yes, yung POC, walang ibang makakapag-listen unless you have access to the group. So, since this is private, hindi naman siya pwede. Katulad ng analog na, itong frequency na to, punta ka, makaka-listen ka na. With this one, anong group ka? Ito yung talk group namin, ito yung group namin. Ay, teka, hindi ka naman nakasama dun sa sa group nung seller. Depende pa yan, no? Pag bumili ka ngayon ng POC, depende pa yan sa seller or depende sa brand. Sabihin na natin, ito, Iconic, no? Isa ako sa nag-handle ng platform ng Iconic. Pero pag bumili ka sa akin, under ka sa akin. Pero merong isang seller ng Iconic, gusto ko makausap yun doon. Ay, hindi. Andun ka lang. Kasi bibigyan sila ng specific platform. Same din sa iba. May say Cygnus, kay Global PTT.
So private for each, ano? So
Oo,
dapat,
private ka.
I
So
see.
hindi siya basta-basta mamomonitor. The only one can monitor is the admin.
Admin. Question. Does this have to be licensed? Do you need a license for a POC?
No. Kasi nga, you're using cellular. So, I'm not sure kung ano yung specific tawag dito rules ng NTC, no. Pero ang paliwanag, anything that uses cellular, ano na siya, hindi na kailangan ng license kasi you're already paying for the network kasi pag nag-purchase ka ng ng SIM card. So, kasama na doon.
So ito yung mga radyo na
May
pwede SIM card.
Yes, SIM card.
So
Pero
any SIM card.
any SIM card. Most of the POC radio naman is open line, meaning any network could do. You can do Smart, Globe, Goma.
So anong consumption diyan sa cellular, like when it comes to let's say pwede prepaid?
Yes, pwede. Mostly prepaid talaga yung mga combo meals. Combo meals tuloy. Combo promo. Like sa Smart, meron silang magic data. Si Goma naman, meron din. These are non-expiry, no expiry. Meaning, as long as activated yung SIM card, the data will remains.
Ano yung consumption ng data? For
Very
example,
minimum.
like
Bytes.
give us an example. Like,
Kunwari, nag-transmit ako. Go ahead, over. Yung ganun kaigsi, it only transmit for about 3 to 4 bytes.
bytes.
Bytes lang siya. Pero depende, no? Merong mga POC na merong Zello, like this one.
Okay.
May Zello siya. So Zello, iba ang consumption ng data kasi this is actually running specific software or marami siyang nagra-run sa apps niya.
What is Zello?
Zello is an app na it's a free app na pwede mong i-download sa phone mo. So, pwede kang mag-access ng Zello through phone.
So on an Android, iOS phone, pwede?
Any Android, any iOS, pwede kang mag-download Zello.
And can you communicate this with the radio?
Yes. If yung unit mo is merong Zello capable, which is aside sa POC, no, naglabas din yung mga ibang brand ng Zello radio. Meaning Zello radio is capable of using Zello. Aside from the POC, like this one, merong siyang POC, meron siyang Zello. So we could, kunwari, you're using POC, and yung unit ko may POC, tapos yung isa naman, naka-Zello. Pwede tayong mag-usap. Pwede kayong makapag-usap. Pero yung ibang ginagawa na walang capability yung POC nila, medyo technical na to, no? POC nilalagyan nila ng link sa Zello or link naman sa Zello to analog or POC to analog. Pero meron mga certain unit na meron na siyang one use. Ito, IP or POC na may analog. This could communicate, ito pwedeng gamitin para makapag-communicate ng POC at ang analog. You just using this. Meron siyang repeater capability. So back to back. So POC to analog, analog to POC. Just using this.
Magkano yung mga ganyan?
Ito medyo pricey na siya. This around 10,000 pataas. So yung mga this one around 6,000. Medyo pricey. Itong mga ganito analog, ito 2,000. 1,800 to 2,000 pesos.
In situations like emergencies, typhoons, floods, earthquakes, what would you best suggest or recommend to have? This one?
Ang hirap kasing kasi for me, syempre, I'll go for the cheapest. May mga
Okay.
cheapest na lumalabas na for as low as 1,600 na POC. So less than 2,000 meron ka ng POC.
Yan yung nilalagay ng SIM card.
Yan nilalagyan SIM card. Ang POC kasi kaya niyang, as long as merong signal sa area, pwede kayo mag-communicate. Unlike with analog. Analog is just kilometers lang range. Very limited range. With POC, pwede mo makausap ibang bansa. As long as merong network or signal ng network.
Pero what if natural disasters? Nawala yung network, wala
Yeah,
what would you best recommend?
Any analog.
Any analog?
Any analog radio na, kasi depende kasi yan kung saan ka magli-listen eh. Hindi naman, pero especially kung you are trying to or also coordinate with your LGU. Kasi hindi naman porket meron kang two-way radio, pwede ka na basta makapag-listen. Kasi meron kang mapapakinggan, dahil since malakas yung signal nila, yung transmission nila, mapapakinggan mo sila, pero hindi ka nila mapapakinggan. Pero unlike within your area of responsibility or within your vicinity, if you're especially coordinating with the LGU, pwede ka makipag-collaborate sa kanila na in case of emergency po, I could, Pero hindi siya basta-basta na punta ka sa barangay na, ano po yung frequency ninyo? Siyempre, you need to coordinate properly. Bakit mo hinihingi yung frequency? Siyempre, hindi naman nila basta-basta ibibigay yon. Kasi nga, these are used internally. So, hindi ka basta pwedeng, even if you consider yourself as volunteer, pero siyempre, meron pa ring level yun. Dito ka muna makipag-coordinate. Hindi ka pwedeng direkta makipag-coordinate. Unless, meron kayong memorandum of agreement. If you are in a certain group, meron kayong MOA na you could actually directly get in touch with them through their frequencies.
What's next after POC? Meron na ba o ano? Ano ba yung naririnig ko dati mga satellite radio? Is that different? Is that...
Yes, yon ang isa sa pinakamagandang investment. Pero isa din sa mahal. Kasi si Smart meron siyang dedicated SIM intended for satellite phone. Ang isang sat phone, the cheapest would be ito second hand siguro sa marketplace mga 6,500. Oo.
That's cheap.
Oo. Pero para lang siyang ordinaryong cellphone na yung mga Nokia ganon, mga old school. Pero yung mga high-end na yung mga Thuraya, costing around 80 to 200,000 depende pa.
So yung satellite phones, they're not touchscreen, they're just standard.
Yes, standard.
How big are they?
Meron siyang sa iOS, meron siyang specific na parang bibilin ka na gadget na i-insert mo para maging sat phone.
Okay.
So, I'm not really sure kung magkano siya, Pero nakita ko lang siya since I was looking into different type of sat phone. So, yon, pwede sa Android, pwede sa iOS. Pero yung mga nabibili talaga na mga sturdy na rugged, yung mga nakikita natin sa movie, yun na yung may flippable antenna, yun na yung mga mahal, 100,000 pataas na siya. Pero those are just manual na pwede ka
So yan yung, for example, ginagamit ng mga presidente ng mga nations in case of let's say, na-ambush sila, they could easily communicate kasi satellite.
Satellite. And wala nakaka-monitor.
I'm curious about sat phones. Let's say yung sinabi mo sa Smart. Ano ba yan? Line? Is it...
parang prepaid siya.
Oh, prepaid. So who do you call with the sat phone? Any other lines? Basta gamit mo satellite?
Oo, basta gamit ka na. Pero I think parang nas $2.50 yata ang per call o per minute.
Per minute, probably per minute. Pero that's good for emergencies.
Yes, so kasi for emergency, hindi ka naman makikipagkwentuhan ng 4 hours.
So ibig sabihin, if we're gonna, not sure if Smart has their own satellite, baka nakikiride on lang sila just like in the
Maybe,
cell sites, di ba? May mga satellites na you have a subscription to it, and then may communication wherever you are. Nasa desert ka, nasa
Yes.
jungle ka na walang cellular signal. So,
Pero nowadays, meron ng Starlink. So, si Starlink, nagiging parang hotspot na siya. So,
sa bagay.
so the best thing is, kung meron ka Starlink, good for you. Kasi pwede mo siyang, hindi siya nadidisrupt kasi nga, since we're using satellite. So,
And umigot naman yung satellite si Elon
Yes,
Musk. Let's look up yung Starlink. Ano yung pinakamurang Starlink? Kasi alam ko may Starlink na yung parang maliit, yung pang portable.
I think 14,000 yung nakita kong pinakamura eh. And
Meron-
then 2,500 ang per month niya na subscription. Tapos,
Yes,
iba pa ang subscription if merong subscription para sa mobility eh.
Yun
Yung-
nga, yun nga,
I
yun.
think that's 3,500 or 1,000 on top of the base.
Parang 3,000, nakita ko niya, 3,000 per month. Yan. Pwede ka mag-roam.
Yes.
Anywhere in the world daw. Pag residential, 3,800. Pero yung device itself,
Before the startup is 30,000 yata. Tapos ngayon binaba nila to 15,000.
okay.
I'm not sure, baka promo siya. Pero lately parang yun pa rin nakikita ko, 14 to 15,000. Since marami nang nag-acquire. And yung mga ibang nakikita ko, yung mga merong analog radio station na merong mga POC,
Yun
yung
ginagamit.
repeater station nila, naglalagay sila ng Starlink.
Starlink.
Kasi nga, just for anything digital, doon na dumadaan sa Starlink nila. So, hindi na siya madidisrupt, magkaroon man ng power outage or network failure. As long as stable, alam naman natin stable si Starlink and wala pa yata naging issues si Starlink when it comes to interruptions sa kanilang network. Yun. So, yun ang ginagawa nila. If you have the capacity to buy and if you're preparing for ganitong emergency na magkaroon, let's say sabihin na lang natin na yung talagang ma-disrupt yung communication natin, Starlink siguro isa sa magiging best solution. Pero this would actually cost you something.
Parang will set you back for the... I have a friend who bought it for, I think, 35,000. The actual Starlink, the big one. Yung sinasabi mo 15,000, I think yung mini Starlink.
Ah, okay.
Kasi there are two types now. But I think he bought the bigger one. So it's like 35. And then yung monthly niya is about 3,000.
I guess that's for mobility.
Ano parang one location lang. For mobility, it's like 3,000 plus.
Okay.
Plus. Pero they're both, I mean, for the average person, it's quite steep pagdating sa price. But for businesses and sa mga, I think, emergency response units, di ba? Dapat meron, no? Dapat talagang meron. But that's interesting kasi buti na lang, may Starlink. Kasi dati, that's what we could rely on. Now, the question is, can the average person, let's say me, I want to buy a UHF radio. And of course, this is now public. They're gonna know that unless we use it just for personal use, I think it's safe enough to say na okay naman, di ba, within our vicinity. But as long as it doesn't disrupt any communications, let's say MMDA, police, PNP, the army, I think we're safe there. Kasi I don't think we've heard a lot of wala masyadong batas dun tungkol sa radios. And like you said, confiscation lang. But we're not quite sure yet. So siguro we could have another session and let's see. Let's talk about the resolutions, the laws regarding.
Merong directive si NTC. Again, I'm not really 100% sure, no? Pero during emergencies, ina-allow gumamit ng certain frequencies. Si NTC ina-allow. Yung mga ibang civic group, I'm not really sure kung this is entirely open para sa lahat. Pero again, siyempre emergency na nga, no? Disaster na, kailangan mo pang paalam. Ay, sir, paalam po ako, pwede po ako mag-transmit. Pero I guess, common sense naman na siguro. Siyempre, buhay muna before ano, di ba?
Yes.
Life is more important kaysa yung permission.
What are the things that naririnig ko dati na parang pwede ka mag-set up ng base? What are those?
Kung tutusin, hindi ka naman talaga basta pwede mag-set up ng base kasi meron siyang kailangan permit.
Okay.
So, papasok pa rin siya dun sa license mo. No? Sa license mo kasi, lalabas doon. Katulad ko, no, yung license ko na Class D, ROC pa lang siya. Radio Operator's Certificate. It's just a certificate. Wala pa ako nakaregister na unit doon sa certificate ko. Pag nag-register ka na ng unit or ng radio sa certificate mo, hindi na siya ROC, hindi na siya Radio Operator Certificate, magiging ARSL na siya, Amateur Radio Station License. So meaning to say na meron ka ng specific, kunwari, let's say this one, nilicense ko na siya under my, niregister ko under my license. Ito na ngayon yung legal kong gamitin, parang car. So, kung ano yung car na nakaregister sa'yo, yun yung pwede mo gamitin. If you have the ORCR, pwede mo na siya gamitin. Just the same with this one. Pero, pagtatayo ng setup sa bahay, actually, kailangan mo talaga ng permit para magtayo eh. Pero, since nabanggit ko kanina, hindi ganun ka-strict yung NTC natin. And, hindi nila masyadong binibigyan o pinagtutuunan ng pansin yung pagtatayo ng ganyan. Sa ibang bansa, ang bilis nila sa ganyan eh. If you violate something, talagang pupuntahan ka nila eh. Yung mag-transmit ka nga lang sa frequency, they could actually monitor eh. Pero, iba ang US, iba dito sa Pilipinas. Yun. Anyone could actually set up, no? For the purpose of listening lang para mapalawak yung receive coverage mo. Pero if you're going to transmit, doon nagkakaroon ng violation. Ang daming gumagawa nagtatayo ng sarili, nagdi-DIY, they create their own repeater system. You just need to buy two-way radio, tapos papagawa ka ng interface para kung mag-communicate na maging repeater system siya. Kasi kung bibili ka ng repeater, kailangan mo ng permit to purchase. If you're going to get legal, no? Before ka bumili, kailangan mo ng permit to purchase from NTC.
And you can't buy this off Lazada, yung repeaters?
Meron.
Meron.
Oo, pero if you're going to register it, hindi mo siya mai-register. Kasi kailangan, bibili ka doon sa authorized ng NTC.
So you can't buy it and use it out of the box?
You can.
But it's illegal na kasi you are not.
Yes, kasi nga, hindi siya, wala siyang license. So, pero, again, the bottom line, wala talagang manpower o hindi pinagtutuunan ng pansin ni NTC yung pag isa-isa dito. Kasi nga, yung kanina, tanong mo, bakit ang dami nagbebenta sa online? Nag-file sila ng DTI eh. So, dapat si DTI mag-monitor, no? Hindi si NTC.
Sabagay.
So, labas na si NTC doon. Si NTC papasok lang if they use it in a certain band na hindi naman sila allowed. Pero, yun nga, sabi nga nung ibang amateurista or yung mga radio operator enthusiast, wala kasing pera. Walang pera doon walang kita. Kasi, katulad nito, bili ka nito, 500. Pag kinumpiskate ni NTC, bili ulit ako another one. So, ganun lang. Ganun ka-basic, ganun ka-simple. Yun yung parang, remedy. Okay.
Tsaka pointless naman kasi pag nagbuhos sila ng resources na wala naman malaking penalty na makukuha nila.
Yes.
Unlike pag cellular, malaki ata pag cellular.
Yes,
If you're operating like a repeater or a cell site na illegal cell site, yun yung malaki. Yun yung...
Doon talaga kasi you are violating na sa
kasi there's big money involved kasi yung mga nagbayad ng licenses for those cell sites.
Cell site,
Oo. Sabagay. Yeah. And like you said before, this is old school. But I don't think so as of now kasi nag-evolve siya. It has POC, it has, yun nga, the digital and analog. I think it's best. Parang I'm really Let me see this. So ito yung may analog, digital, and POC.
Yes.
So ito yung mga gusto kong bilhin. So this is because for the analog, para
Yes,
at least. Okay, so bulky siya.
Bulky. Yes. Kasi it's because of kailangan na ng longer battery life. Kasi nga, since it actually operates as a repeater, so magge-generate na siya ng power since nagtatransmit siya.
How long naglalast to?
2 days on standby. Pero if you're going to, pag ginagamit na siya, hours na lang, 4 to 6 hours. Actually, 8 hours ginagamit mo, good na yun eh.
What about yung mga yung mga entry level, yung UHF lang? How long does it,
For monitoring, it actually lasts for 3 to 4 days. For monitoring.
What about if you
If you use it,
event tayo?
lang din. Ganun na. Anything na pag ginamit mo na, hours lang talaga ang bibilangin mo, 4 to 6 hours. Depende pa, kasi kung constant communication, baka hindi continuous for continuous conversation na back and forth lang ng mga 2 to 3 seconds na, sige, andito na, yan. Tuloy-tuloy, baka 2 hours, 3 hours lang. Pero for for update lang, update sa station, okay naman.
Kaya laging mga security guards pala nakikita laging may may docking sila
station.
para
But those were the days. Ngayon in-upgrade na nila. Yung mga batteries nung ngayon type C na.
Okay.
So all they need to do is
a phone charger na lang.
Phone charger na lang or power bank pag may power bank. I guess lahat naman ngayon may access na sa power bank.
Yes.
Kaya
Affordable pa.
Very affordable, yes.
Okay, that's very good insights. Thank you for educating us on the basics and sabihin natin yung mga laws about radio frequency. It's old school. I think the laws are old, but I think it's good to have for emergency purposes. So, yan, recommendation sa mga average na tao, diba? Buy the UHF, 4 for 1,000. But what if you don't need 4? Meron naman 2, diba? May 2 for 500, diba? And any brands, what would you recommend as a brand?
Sa akin, in case of emergencies, brand doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
As long as you have the access. Pero again, kung meron kang budget, then go for the branded. Icom, Yaesu. Pero that actually costs thousands na.
Thousands na.
5,000 and above.
I think it's still, for in case of emergency. Kasi right now, we're always in a state of emergency.
Yeah.
We have calamities, we have sunog, we have all these types of emergencies. We have DPWH emergencies.
And at saka, ang good thing about this is, pipindot ka lang ng button. Unlike with phone, saan yung kakausapin mo? Wag wala kang contact number.
Wala rin.
Pero again, if you don't have direct access dun sa mga frequencies, pero within the community, pag emergency na, makukuha mo pa ba mag-dial? Pero if you are organized, sabi mo sa family mo, nakaset na yung mga two-way radios mo in one channel or even let's say 2 to 3 channel for backup. In case of emergency, magkalayo-layo ko, lahat kayo merong naka-channel 1 kayo. Nakakapag-communicate ka na ng madalis. Ganun ka efficient sa. So, hindi mo na, paano ko ng cellphone gamit mo? Walang signal doon sa area. Nagtago yung anak mo sa isang building.
Yes.
No coverage.
No coverage.
Diba? Pero within the area, let's say, within 200 meters, makakapag-usap kayo na maayos. Kahit sabihin namin natin may kaguluhan.
That's good. That's good to know. Yeah, so I think I'm going to order one in Shopee right now. Before we end this session, you mentioned kanina that it's quite hard to get a license, and let's revisit that. What are the process of a license? How much would it cost? How long will it process?
Okay. Una, kailangan mo mag-undergo ng seminar. So, sa Facebook, may maraming mga nagpo-post sa mga amateur clubs or different clubs na nag-sponsor ng seminar.
So free? That's for free?
The seminar is free, pero pag on-site, meron kasing babayaran mo yung manual. Kailangan mo mag-purchase ng manual. It's an SOP.
How much is that?
200 to 300 or 350 yata.
Gano'n kakapal ngayon?
Hindi naman, no? I think mga 100 pages.
So ano yan? Is that, ano meron?
Basically, kung ano yung nasa seminar, yun din. Actually, marami ka matututunan doon. No? Andun yung even basic electronics, andun siya. Anything basic about two-way radio, naka-consist naman doon. No?
Pati yung batas na doon.
Merong mga batas na naka-indicate doon kung ano yung pwede, ano yung hindi po pwede, ano yung coverage ng ano. I haven't gone through dun sa ano kasi
Nobody ever does.
oo, parang ano lang parang manual. Nobody reads the manual from top to ano
What's the next step?
So after the seminar, you need to find the dates of the exam. Pwede ka magpunta ng NTC na sa any regional office.
So may exam?
Merong exam. And
Okay.
the exam is actually nandun din sa take-up na seminar, no?
Okay.
Pero ano na lang dito,
Formality na lang.
well, hindi naman siya totally formality, no? Kasi yung ibang nagsa-seminar, sinasabi na rin nila, ito yung mga sagot. Ito yung mga tanong ang sagot na lalabas sa exam. Pero naging wise na si NTC. Kasi nga, merong mga iba na nag-leak ng exam. So maraming pumapasa. Yung iba naman, nagli-leak pa rin. The same question actually appears on the exam, pero NTC naging wise na sila. Ang ginagawa nila, during exam, nirarumble na nila yung ano. Kasi iba, nakakabisado na question number 1, ito yung sagot. So, minsan, kaya kabisado na lang nila, answer sa 1, answer sa 2, so B, D, ganon. Pero ngayon, nirarumble na nila. Every exam, nirarumble na nila. But the same question appears on the exam. So, pag nag-exam ka, merong element, they categorize it. Element 2, 3, and 4. Element 2, para doon sa, tama nga ba ako? Basta merong classification for Class D, Class C. So, 2, 3, 4. So, yun yung coverage na. Ito ang nakakatawa. Hindi naman siya totally nakakatawa. No? I mean, the weird thing, pag na-perfect mo ang element 3 and 4, tapos bagsak ka sa 2, hindi mo napasa, hindi ka magkakaroon ng license D. Ito ang standard. Yung element 2, kailangan ma-perfect. Hindi mo siya ma-perfect, mapasa mo siya. So, parang item yata niya is 1 to 15. So, at least makakuha ka ng 7, pasado ka na. Kahit bumagsak ka din sa 3 and 4, okay lang. Kasi nga, pasado ka na Class D ka na Pero pag ito napasa mo, automatic, Class C ka. Kasi ito yung coverage ng Class C tama nga ba? I'm not, pasensya na sa mga hindi talaga ako, hindi ko masyado talaga pinagtuunan ng pansin kung tama ba. Pero alam ko, element 2, 3, 4 yan. So, isang part, para doon sa Class D, kailangan ipasa mo yon. Hindi ka magiging Class C kung hindi mo ipapasa yung Class D. Kahit ima-perfect mo itong questionnaire for Class C, kunwari item is 35. 35 tama lahat yan, pero kung dito 5 ka lang, bagsak ka pa rin. Kailangan mong, parang student, kailangan pumasa ng student. Hindi ka pwedeng mag-non-pro agad. Pero may mga fixer dyan. Pero, we're not promoting fixers na, pero wag nating wag nating sanayin sarili natin. Let's do the proper. Ako, nagraradyo ako since 1990. 1995 actually nag-start. Hindi ako kumuha ng license kasi back then sobrang mahal magpakumuha ng license at sobrang hirap. Lately lang ako kumuha, 2021 ako kumuha ng license. 2022 pumasa ako. So, the reason why ako kumuha ng license is una, maging legal. Follow the system. Kung ano yung tama. Kasi nga, unang-una, nagpo-promote ako ng two-way radio tapos hindi pala ako license. Tapos, aside doon, so, seminar and then exam. So, pagkuha mo na exam, pag pumasa ka na, you have the option. Pwede kang mag-request ng special, yung kung ano gusto mo, kunwari, APX. Depende yan sa, sa classification or district. Kunwari, if you're in Manila, that is DY1. So, meron siyang clustering. So, Metro Manila, District 1. So, the reason why District. Pag namang District 2, yun na yung sa District 2, Ilocos, District 3, Bulacan, Region 3. So, may mga ganon. And then, you could request for a specific call sign. Let's say, kunwari, ikaw, APX, o DY1 APX. Depende. Kung available sa system, walang gumagamit, you could. Pero, pag nag-request ka na, pag pumasa ka na, no, pag nag-file ka na doon, pwede mo ilagay yung mga gusto mong call sign.
Okay, from seminar to exam, gaano katagal yung exam? And gaano matagal makakuha yung results?
After exam, the result actually, minsan 1 week lang, 3 to 4 days, minsan, depende, no? Depende
Tagal
sa
din,
ano.
no?
Pero if you, pag nag-take ka dito sa main, the same day, makukuha mo
Same
siya.
day,
Pero you need to wait for at least 2 hours, 1 to 2 hours.
Okay, that's fast.
So, malalaman mo na agad kung pasado ka.
Let's say pasado ka na, what's the next step?
Pwede mo na i-process kung maaga pa, kung bukas pa yung
Okay.
pwede mo nang tapusin. Yung iba, wala. Basta may license lang. Sige, pasa. Kahit anong...
Ano yung main requirements para ano?
The requirements is 2x2 ID and then magkano ba yun? 70 pesos yata for the processing.
For the processing. And then yung license mismo, magkano?
Wala na, yun na yun.
So overall, magkano yung binayad mo overall?
So, mas mahal pa yung manual. 300 sa booklet, manual, and then yung exam. I think 50 pesos sa registration, then 70. So 500 more or less.
For the whole process?
Oo, yun na. Ang matagal lang talaga doon is mag-wait ka ng seminar. Pero I think sa main, meron ng seminar doon eh.
Okay.
So, pag nagpunta ka doon, hindi automatic pag nag-seminar ka, exam ka na. No. Babalik ka ulit
Babalik ka ulit.
the other.
Ano yung, okay, 500 for ano, is this yung license? How long yung validity of the license?
Okay. Validity niya for the first issuance is good for 1 year.
Okay.
And then, pag within the 1 year, so you need to renew. Pag na-renew mo na siya, good for 3 years na siya.
And then, laging 3 years.
Every 3 years na siya.
Magkano yung renewal?
300 plus.
So, mahal din yung renewal.
Oo,
So,
mahal.
affordable pa din. Sa bagay, it's not that expensive kasi if wala masyadong... Sino yung mga nagtitake ng ganyan seminar? Security agencies, kasama dyan yung mga military, or is this just for the public?
Okay. Yung nabanggit ko na exam, this is for amateur pa lang
For amateur?
Pero mas madali sa commercial, like yung mga security agencies. Kasi RLM, Radio Land Mobile Seminar.
Okay.
So ito, yung seminar for RLM, mas maiksi ito. 2-hour seminar, and then after ng seminar, pwede ka na makakuha ng RLM.
Why is it easier for commercial?
Kasi nga, unlike with amateur, merong seminar, and then may exam. Sa commercial, walang exam. Attend the seminar for 2 hours, 2 to 3 hours, that's it.
How do you
Tapos
qualify?
processing ka na.
How do you qualify for as a commercial?
Anyone could actually can apply for RLM. Basta gagamit if you want to use a radio, especially the commercial, yung commercial is 146 and then above, and then the 440. Yung nabanggit ko kanina, 440 MHz pataas. Commercial frequency na naka-allocate.
Okay, so can I bypass the amateur and just go commercial?
Yes, pwede. But sa commercial, one frequency lang. Unlike with amateur, sa amateur, you could roam from 144 to 146 MHz.
see.
Pwede kang lumipat doon. Any frequency within that band.
I see.
Sa commercial, you are going to be assigned with one frequency only.
Of your choosing?
Yes. Na i-allow sa'yo. You
Okay.
choose, pero you need to ask permission to NTC na ito yung gagamitin namin frequency. Pero hindi siya naka-indicate dun sa RLM ID mo. No? Pero I think merong certification, like the security agency. Siyempre, security agency, hindi mo palipat-lipat ng frequency, doon lang sila. Yun lang i-assign sa kanila. Like like the civic group din. Pag nag-apply sila, yun lang din yung i-assign. Pero, mas maraming gusto sa amateur. Kasi,
Madami.
less ang bayarin dito.
Talaga?
Oo.
Magkano sa commercial?
Sa commercial, pag kumuha ka ng RLM, mas mura. Pero if you're going to set up for legality para to register your group, mas mahal. registering your group, and then yung setting up your radio towers, doon mas mahal. Sa amateur, parang una, get a license. Seminar, license. So, lisensado ka na. Pwede ka na mag-operate ng radio mo. I guess pwede ka na rin magtayo ng setup mo or depende sa class mo na lang. Dito, yon. Ayun. Sa amateur pala, kailangan mo i-register kung pwede kang maging pwede kang hindi sumali sa any amateur club pag amateur.
So, pwedeng solo na.
Pwede ka lang, basta as long as you have license. So, amateurista ka na yan. And then, if you're going to join a club, siyempre, yung club na bahala kung magre-register sila if you're going to set up their own repeater. Pero yon, ang process nun yung may permit to purchase, tapos bibili ka lang doon sa authorized dealer para ma-approve ng NTC, and then you pay for the dues, and then yung pagpaparegister ng group. Sa pagpaparegister ng amateur group, kailangan ng 25 active member. So, kailangan may 25. Sa civic, ganun din. Pero ang sabi sa akin ng isang kakilala ko na attorney, amateur and then civic din siya, mas magastos nga. Which is magastos nga kasi dito kailangan mo ng SEC registration sa civic.
For the civic group?
Oo. For the civic, pag sa civic group o sa commercial, ang kailangan ng NTC is SEC registration. Actually, si amateur din, kailangan din ng SEC registration. Pero mas mabusisi daw sa civic eh. So,
pag amateur, dapat SEC? Hindi lang DTI?
Hindi kailangan ng DTI. SEC registration and then yung amateur club registration.
For the amateur.
Sa amateur.
Akala ko parang kahit solo ka, dapat may SEC registration for...
No, pag solo ka, you don't need to have...
anything.
You don't need to join any club for as long as you have your license. Pero syempre, saan mo gagamitin yung mo kung wala ka naman. Yung iba, ako, before, hindi naman ako kumuha ng license para sumali sa club eh. I just want to be legal sa pag-operate ng radio. In case na ma-question ako. Kasi iba kasi kina-question nila. Sabi, oy ka, may license ka na ba? Wala pa. Tagal-tagal mo na nagra-radyo. Tapos, ano ka pala, illegal ka pala. Isa ka sa color room. Yan, tawag nila doon, mga color room.
Okay. Thank you for all the fundamental knowledge of radio communications. We have McLean here, and let's do this. Let's do another round of session after. Next time, let's look at the real life applications of how to use this. If there's a natural disaster or if there's any calamity or anything like that. Very, very beneficial yan. Maybe to have as a backup for every household. And importante talaga siya in case all our cell sites go down, di ba? Yan, that's our last resort. No? Pag wala na yan, I don't know what's our last resort. Baka ano na lang, fire signals. All right. Thank you, McLean.